The wedding photography industry is completely oversaturated. It feels like there are 20,000 other wedding photographers in my city, but only a few are booking consistent work. Hello there, I'm Taylor Jackson and I photographed over 1,000 weddings in my career, edited and delivered nearly 1 million wedding photos and over 800 highlight films. And my biggest lesson, well, it's one you probably already know, success in the wedding photography industry is no longer just about being good at photography. When I was getting started over 1,000 weddings ago, it was actually pretty easy to book work. If you had some nice pictures and you had a decent enough website, you'd just book weddings. The industry wasn't oversaturated and you could be on page 1 of Google within 6 months if you gave it some effort. You could also book a full season based on referrals alone. Back then, styled shoots would easily book you 5 or 6 weddings. Plus, wedding planners and venues would actually get back to your cold emails with enthusiasm and be excited to work together. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case any longer. Taking good photos is expected, and couples are no longer just looking at your website, but they're creeping everything on your social media all the way back to 2015. The industry is now completely oversaturated, and showing up on page 1 of Google is a 5-year effort with unclear steps. Referrals also fall off pretty quickly because everyone has a friend that's a wedding photographer and they'll do it for less. Styled shoots aren't going to instantly book you 5 weddings, and wedding planners and venues are just going to delete your email because you're the 25th photographer to reach out to them that week. Now, all of this sounds bad and completely overwhelming if you want to make it full-time in weddings. What if I told you there's actually never been a better time to book weddings than right now? And also specifically, this coming January, just 1 month from now. You probably already know it, but January bookings spike for a few months. Lots of couples get engaged over the holidays. The first few weeks, the venues see the big spike. Then it follows through to us as photographers and video creators. One easy thing you can do is start getting in front of people on social media before the end of December. What does that mean? It means a few things. First, it's really important to curate a great website and first impression, and there's a lot more that goes into it than I can explain in this short video. The basics are to create a website that gets the couple to trust you as fast as possible. There are a lot of ways to do this, and you don't have to do all of them. Next, the same goes for your social media presence. For me, I also start running a few dollars in paid ads per day. If you've only ever tried running paid ads by hitting the boost button, you've unfortunately done it completely wrong. Paid ads are incredibly effective if done correctly, and they are how I sustain between 60 to 70 weddings per year for a long, long time. And I know that number probably sounds crazy to you, and you don't have to do that many weddings. These weddings also weren't $500 days, they were $5,000 days on average, which means an income of $300,000. Expenses in a wedding business are also pretty minimal. Paying someone hourly to help out with editing and delivery, but I also could have just done that myself. Wedding photography is an incredibly profitable industry. Plus, you're making something beautiful for your clients that's going to be passed down from generation to generation. I personally find great value in that. Now, for Black Friday, I'm doing something absolutely crazy. So my flagship course, Book More Weddings, is usually $269. I've been remaking this course every year since 2017, and in that time, it has helped thousands of photographers to book millions of dollars of work collectively. Liam Good, you might have seen him featured on my YouTube channel that has over 650,000 subscribers. He found my videos before he even considered being a wedding photographer. He was interested in photography, but weddings weren't even a consideration. After watching my videos, he decided to take a shot at weddings and went from 3 weddings that first year to 10 weddings, and now averages 50 weddings per year. He's put a lot of work in since making the decision to get into weddings, and I would now rank him as one of the best wedding photographers. Look at his work, it's amazing. So Book More Weddings, my flagship course, has helped thousands like Liam. Usually it is $296 on its own, but for Black Friday, it's only $99. And that's not entirely the truth, and I'm very sorry about this. You will get $5,000 in other content included as well. That's right, for $99, you can get a full year on my member site. This is the craziest deal I've ever run, and it's only running until December 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and then it's gone forever. Now, what else comes in this deal? First up, this is usually $300 on its own. The Taylor Jackson method, this is my method for doing both photography and hybrid video on wedding days. This has more than doubled my revenue. It's a full breakdown of how I do both photography and video on weddings and walks you through everything, including editing. Next, my off-camera flash course for wedding photographers. Usually it is $199 on its own. A full walkthrough of everything I do with a flash on a wedding day. And then there's even more. 47 courses and downloads to be specific. 10 steps to full-time in wedding photography, my full audiobook, how to make your first $1 million in wedding photography, templates like my wedding photography welcome guide, pricing templates, photo checklist, email templates, my contract, a 3-hour wedding photography workshop, a full pricing course, introvert's guide to wedding photography posing, real life initial client meetings, full behind the scenes wedding days, advanced wedding photography marketing, and then a whole second part of the website that's dedicated to getting paid to travel with your camera. Courses like exactly that, how to get paid to travel with your camera. My goal was always to make wedding photography a business, but also a business that allowed me the freedom to travel. It started as my goal to just break even on these trips, that I would go and I would do something that I wanted to do and I would find a way to generate revenue along the way to break even. Eventually this turned into getting paid very well to go on the trips that I wanted to go on, like Antarctica, Japan, and 60 other countries. Success in wedding photography means a great lifestyle, both in terms of money, but also in terms of the fact that you now control your schedule. For me, this means traveling more often, but for you, it could be spending more time with your family and being available for any events during the week that you would usually just be at a job for. So if you're interested in getting in on one of the craziest deals I've ever done, there's a link right here. If you're already on the member site, you can also move over to this plan and you can keep it for as long as you'd like. You don't have to renew for more than a year, but most people stick around 2 or 3 years or longer when you get the best rate that I've ever offered, like today here. I'll never kick you out of this plan, and I am going to keep adding content to the site that you will have access to. Plus, this comes with a 100% money back guarantee. If you sign up and it's not what you're expecting, you can either respond to one of the emails from the site, or you can just send me an email right here. Email's on the screen, and I will send your money back. There's nothing to lose, and there is a lot to gain, including a life of both financial and time freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you inside the site for this crazy once-in-a-lifetime offer.